So I want to definitely thank you guys for coming today to an episode of KBNT. Appreciate that. Before we get into today's conversation, do you guys want to introduce yourselves to the cameras?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ivy. I am a junior in college, and I like to listen to music in my free time.
I'm Scott. I just got out of the Marine Corps in February, and I'm a father of a 6-month-old.
My name's Melanie, and I guess I'm a personal assistant, and I also clean houses. I really like to listen to music and play sports.
Okay. Today's conversation is going to be commitment. I think we all know something about commitment in one way or another, either in a good way or a negative way. So I want to spend some time talking about it. You got down?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, for sure. So does anybody want to say what commitment means to them?
A deep dedication to a person or thing.
I would say just like kind of like what she said, but like unwavering dedication. Like,
Yeah.
you know, no matter what, the highs, lows, like whatever, like
Loyalty.
Yeah.
just straight up, like I got your back
Synonym
no matter
of loyalty.
what. Like, you know,
It's
like,
like
you know, like
family,
getting ready to work a
automatically.
12-hour shift, and you're like, you know what, I'll still be here for you guys. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, something like that. Like,
Hey, he's not.
commitment.
It's all facts. He's not lying. He's got a 12. Okay. All right, so yeah, that's what's up. All right, so when you guys think of these three things, mental, like, you know, mental learning, getting more knowledge as a person, physical, staying healthy, worrying about staying in shape, and also social, like interaction with family, loved ones, and whatnot. When you think of those three things, what order would you say from least to greatest that you guys put those in perspective?
I think, like, personally, like, I try and put my mental first. I think before it was physical, you know what I'm saying? Before it was just like, you know, as soon as I got out of the Marine Corps, I was like, well, I want to keep this, you know, like, I want to stay working out. Because I know, like, once you stop, it gets harder to get back into it.
Okay.
And then I kind of had a daughter, and it was more like, well, yeah, I can go work out, I can lift all this weights and do all that, but if I'm not, like, mentally secure first, like, what am I showing my daughter? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I'm just showing her, like, it's okay to, and, you know, if you're stressed out, whatever, just go work out, and your problems are gone. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like,
Yeah.
So I started putting mental, physical, and then kind of social. That's why y'all don't see me as often as you used to.
Okay. Okay. How about
I'd agree with that. Well, because if you're good mentally, you treat everybody else well. So I think mental always comes first, because then it portrays in your life.
right?
And then I say social, because who you have around you adds to that.
Okay.
And then physical, I mean, it's just looks.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, definitely like how you said that. Because, you know, depending on who you're hanging around, will definitely either incline or decline your mental satisfaction. Well, not stability, but level. You
Yeah.
know? So I agree with that.
Yeah, like my mom told me, like, when I was a kid, like, you are who you hang out with.
Yeah, I think that's legit.
Like,
Not
if
only
you're
that,
hanging-
if you're,
you're-
go ahead.
no, you good. If you're hanging out with, like, a bunch of people, like, you know, doing drugs and just, like, acting stupid all the time, like, eventually you're just gonna give into that lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you start surrounding yourself with people that like you want a psychology major, like, you want this, like, you're headed towards this, like, you have a goal in mind,
Right.
you're probably more likely to start working towards your goals.
Yeah.
Versus going out and drinking and partying on the weekend.
Right, because I think if you like look at it, it kind of like, even though it's a bad lifestyle, you know that, but if you see, that's just fun. And if
Yeah.
you see the temptation, it's like you might be able to give into. I mean, you might not give into it the first maybe 8, 20 time, however.
Yeah, however much.
But one day
Eventually you're
gonna
like, hey, let's give it a
see
shot.
it. Yeah, let's give it a shot. I don't want to work right now. And just like that, you might be turned out. You might get turned out. Nah. Ivy, what's up? What's your three?
I honestly, it sounds really bad, but I always put my social first.
Mhm.
I always put my friends first. So like, I've literally on Christmas Eve, like the day before Christmas Eve, my dad had chemo the next day, and I stayed at my friend's house to help her put together her TV stand till 1:30 in the morning, knowing my parents had that commitment.
Mhm.
So like I'm that friend that's like 2 a.m. I'm there for you, or like whatever you need. So
got you.
I always put my social first, and then it goes physical, because I'm like, oh my god, I have to put makeup on, or I have to dress a certain way, and then my mental comes last, because I don't take time to self-care and like for myself and have those decompressing moments. And you know, that's why I started doing yoga, because I needed to have that mental space, and I couldn't give it to myself.
Hey, yoga's good physically too.
Yeah, I do hot yoga, and it's really good for you, and it helps you detox. Yeah, Laguna
Promo.
Hills. It's like Laguna Hills, off of Lake Forest, Core Power. Namaste.
All right, hey. That's
Shout out another spot.
I seize your greatness.
If you had to think about your commitment, do you put commitment more toward money or toward family? Because I mean, at this age in our life, we have a lot of obligations. Like, it's like so much out there for us, and I feel like it's all in front of us right now. If we don't seize it now, 10 years later, might not. So, knowing that, family or money at this point in life.
You know, that one's tough for me, personally, just because right now I'm trying to put my family first, but that means going and getting that money.
Right.
Because, you know, like with my daughter, like obviously anyone there watching or anything knows, like, having a kid ain't cheap.
Oh, no.
And so it's one of those things where it's like, I'm trying to put my family first, but in reality, it's chasing that money because I'm trying to get us a house.
Right.
Chasing that money so we can live on our own and have our own life. And by all means, I didn't have a horrible lifestyle growing up, but I want to give her more than I had. You know what I'm saying?
That's always the goal. Yeah.
And
an efficient goal, at least.
yeah.
So, yeah, I feel that. I mean, for me, you know, I think I focus on money right now. Like, I put off relationships just because I'm like, you know, I want to make sure that I'm stable, that, you know, if we want to go on a trip, we could do that. Or we need to go get something, we have to do that. And it's not hurting my pockets, because I don't know about you guys, if I don't have it, it fucks with my ego. So let me ask you guys a question. So do you guys think that a kid should have the same commitment skills as an adult?
No, but to a certain extent, you gotta teach them. It's something you learn over years. You should know about it when you're young, but you're not gonna have the same ability to do it once you're older.
I get what you're saying, man. What you think?
I don't know. I feel like with my daughter, like, what personally I'm going to do is I'm going to show her what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can only teach so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I can give her all the tools she needs, you know, to have the right commitment, to have all that.
Okay.
It's what she chooses to do with it from there.
Right.
And yeah, you know, 1 through 18, you know, I can kind of, like 1 years old through like 18, I can kind of guide her and kind of show her, you know, this is what I would do. This is what mom would do.
Yeah.
And kind of just let her choose from there. I mean.
Yeah. So you guys think that it's essentially more so grown up? You want to say a kid has the ability to trial and error. They're trying it out. They don't have.
I feel like it's an acquired trait. It's not something you're just
I think that. I mean, you're right. I mean, at any rate, you're right. But I think that a kid should have dedication. They should be committed to it. They should. You know, you should teach them a strong sense of commitment for when they are older. They know, even if it's not what they wanted to do, they can say, I know how to do it, and I know how to apply efforts to it. So I get what you're saying. Like, you know, it's trial and error. It's just when you get older, it's more like, yo, this is
what I need to do. Like,
yeah.
Your own.
That's how my parents started out. To be completely honest, the trial and error thing hasn't been applied much to my life. My parents have always like pre-warned me, like, hey, like, see this is what will happen. Like, if you have sex while you're a teenager, teen pregnancy is a thing. Like, I like knew about things early on, like sex talk when I was 10. Like, you know, like my mom wanted me to be aware of like what would happen in college and like all this stuff. So that way when I did get to that point, I wouldn't be like freaking out and I'm like secure. Know. And I feel like when I learned that I think I should have learned that probably around like 7 is when I really started picking up on like 7 through 18. I was just kind of like absorbing all of these things about family members and friends and how to like have social skills. And then from there, now I'm like, okay, now I can start doing the trial and error process since I'm in my 20s and I'm like gone through the developmental period.
Okay. And Des, if you don't mind, I want to ask you a question on that. It's more so for my personal, you know, thing, like trying to help me guide my daughter a little bit better. Do you feel that with the way your parents did it, that it made you almost a little bit more curious? That's one thing that I've always kind of wondered, that like if I kind of threw it out there to her, that she'd kind of be like, oh, well, what is that? Let's find out.
Yeah. I'm curious in the sense of like anytime my friends want to try something new or do something that's like to their lives, like I have like 2 friends that got married. I'm like, wow, what is that like? Like like you're not even 21 yet and you're already married, and like this is crazy. And I mean, like, you have a kid, you know, like stuff like that kind of like catches me off guard. But other than that, I'm like it's pretty normal, and I feel like I was better prepared for a lot of things that like hit me when I went into college and high school.
When it comes to her commitment though to certain things, I think you should always remember that it's her life.
Right.
Don't give her a false pretense of what it's gonna be, because then she won't get her full experience out of life. Right. So I'm not saying you didn't.
No, she become afraid. I know that there's a lot of times where I psych myself out because of what my parents have told me.
Right, and see, that's what I was kind of worried about, was like, I would tell her something, like, for example, like, this is kind of out of the blue, but like, oh, hey, you know, like, if the little coil on the stove is red, like, it means it's hot. She's like, well, how hot is it? And then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something like that. Like, I've always been kind of scared. Like, obviously, like, I'm going to tell her, like, hey, don't touch it. It's hot.
I think also, like, because I have a lot of nieces and nephews, they're all different. They all have different personalities. You pick up on that, and that's the way you teach them. Like, for me, it was never, like, my mom telling me, don't do this, don't do that. It was, I was always looking out at everything. And because I'm the youngest, and all my siblings are, like, 27, 28, I watched... No offense, I watched them fuck up, so I learned from it. So it wasn't really everyone. No one really told me. I never really had to talk. I kind of was just like, all of y'all are 16 and pregnant. I probably shouldn't do that.
Girl,
y'all fucking up. Not fucking up, but it was making their life a lot harder.
Right.
Especially when you're struggling trying to raise somebody, it's not the easiest. So I think not only telling your kids, but showing them. Yeah. I always grew up. My mom was. No matter the struggle we went through, my mom was always like helping other people, being compassionate and all that, and I saw that, so I picked up on it.
And I think always being young, you know, it's one thing to be told to do something. This is what it is. But once you see it, it's like, if you see, like, I mean, there's always parents that do, like, you know, that are alcoholic and they convince their kids to be alcoholic or whatnot. But I think if you see your sibling, it's a difference. It's like, yo, they kind of either you'll take to it or you'll see it and be like, that's not where I want to be.
Right.
I know that. So let me ask you guys another question. What do you guys dislike or like about commitment?
What do we dislike or like about the commitment?
Yeah, like just like commitment in general. Let me say, for me, I hate that if you do, we all learn something on the same day.
Right.
You take to it easy. You get it. Pow. She do it. It takes her like 2 days. She's like, oh yeah, it's easy. Me and her, we're like, yo, we gotta have more commitment toward this. We don't have it as easy as you. So that's what I dislike about commitment. I think that it's not easy. It's not a level playing field when it comes to certain things. So that's what I hate, is that my commitment sometimes has to be more in depth, more tenacious, more you know, just that to get done. So there's something that you guys like about commitment. Does it help you guys decipher who you guys mess with in life, who you guys don't mess with in life? What do you guys like about it? It doesn't have to be. Go for it.
I think my thing with commitment, kind of to piggyback off what you said, is you know, people that get it easy, you know, like I'll use wrestling for an example. Like some people, like they've been, you know, their families are wrestlers, this, that, and the third, and then they just go in and they're good wrestlers.
Right.
But like me, like I had to work for it. So you know, when I'm winning matches against people that have been wrestling their whole lives, just because that's what's been bred in their family, I had to work for that. I put in the effort to beat someone or be better than someone or just even be as good as someone. They'll never know what it is to like work hard for something and achieve it if they're already good at it.
Right, yeah. Let me ask you guys one last question before we get out of here. Well, is there anything else you guys want to add?
I want to say with commitment, you can't always, like, you're going to naturally love something and have commitment to it, but don't think it's always going to be all rainbows. And even though you love your job, there's going to be those days when you're just like, fuck this job. So you always got to remember, with commitment comes loyalty, I think. And so you got to be there even on the bad days, because
that's commitment.
Yeah, commitment. You got to stay there, lows and highs.
Yeah.
That was just a good definition.
Yeah.
Yo, that's how we started. That's how we going to end it.